Few people have reached the level of fame that pop icons do in the 21st century. Fans from around the world worship and idolize these individuals, but it most often comes at a severe price. It seems the higher one climbs on the fame ladder, the more bizarre they become. One such celebrity is Lady Gaga, and she is by no means a stranger to the self-indulgence. She was born Stephanie Joanne Angelina Jeremata on March 28, 1986 in Manhattan, New York. She attended a Catholic school called the Convent of the Sacred Heart, a school with a heavy price tag to attend. She was bullied and thus found her escape in music. By age 14, she was performing in open mic nights at clubs and bars. By age 17, she'd gained an early admission to the New York University's Tisch School of Arts, shortly after landing a music deal with Def Jam Records, but that went belly up just after 3 months. She returned home and immersed herself in the emerging neo-burlesque shows and go-go dancing bars, dressed in nothing more than a bikini while experimenting with drugs. She continued to push the envelope with her performances, and her friends began to call her Gaga, after Queen's song titled Radio Gaga.
All we hear is Radio Gaga.
Queen's bizarre music video for that song had a lot of satanic imagery taken from the 1927 movie Metropolis. In 2007, she landed a songwriting deal with Steamline Records, an imprint of Interscope Records. She wrote songs for Britney Spears, New Kids on the Block, Fergie, Pussycat Dolls. While singing a reference vocal for one of the songs she wrote, one of the music producers convinced Interscope chairman and CEO Jimmy Levine to sign her. The rest is history. Lady Gaga's debut album won multiple awards and sold millions of copies, while her worldwide tour became one of the highest-grossing music tours of all time. Her fame fueled her outlandish behavior and sparked her often controversial outfits and performances. Lady Gaga began to label her ever-growing wide fan base Little Monsters.
When I started to tour for the Fame Monster, I remember looking out at the fans and they were just so excited. I just started to call them Little Monsters.
I'm a little monster. I'm a huge Gaga fan, and what that means is you always get the music, watch the videos, and just support what she stands for.
Being a little monster means that you are brave, as well as listening to her music and supporting her artistic views.
What it means to be a little monster is to always be there for her and to accept yourself.
The definition of a monster is one who deviates from the normal or acceptable behavior or character. Also, a person of unnatural or extreme ugliness, deformity, wickedness, or cruelty.
This sort of community, this culture that we've built together, it gets stronger and stronger. And it's like every person that's in the arena is really into what we're doing.
She celebrated the outcasts and encouraged them to embrace their darkest desires.
And I really encourage people to look into the darkness and look into places that you would not normally look.
Her music is designed to suck you into her worldview and to draw you into her rebellious ways of thinking.
The time that was put into this music, it's designed to wake you up. The way that the beats move, the way that the music moves, it's designed to send you on an adrenaline rush.
Lady Gaga's music is meant to affect everyone who watches her perform.
I am a little monster.
My fans and I started developing our relationship very early on, but it wasn't until Bad Romance came out that I realized that we were in the fire together and that they really understood me. They were just as rebellious.
The Bible warns us against rebellion. It says in 1 Samuel 15:23 that rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft.
So it's entirely clear. Every single person is a part of the show. You're not stuck in one place staring at the stage. The stage is all around you. You know from the moment that you walk in the arena that you're not on this planet anymore.
The out-of-this-world imagery seems to be aiming its rebellious attack against the very creator of the universe.
Lady Gaga has some Catholics outraged for releasing a song just in time for Holy Week where she declares her love for Judas, the apostle infamous for betraying Jesus. Now, it's a song and she's doing her thing and, you know, people are upset about it.
In this music video, we see Lady Gaga on the back of Jesus' motorcycle, and all of the other riders are named the same as the apostles, and then she notices Judas. As the song progresses, she sings about her love for Judas and not for Jesus. Her music videos are often chock full of blasphemous visuals and overtly satanic themes. Everything from wearing a black wedding dress to being vomited on while singing. Perhaps one of the contributing factors of her sudden extreme fame is her shock value. But even more shocking is who she actually contributes her fame to.
Did this happen? How did this happen? Who created this? Because I didn't create this. I for sure didn't. It's God. It's for sure Jesus. It ain't me, because I'm not ridiculous enough to think for a second that I'm that powerful.
Even what's more confusing is that she often prays with her entire cast before shows.
Dear Lord, thank you so much for bringing us here today. We feel so humbled every day that we get to experience what we experience on this stage. Any doubt, any fear, any lack of confidence that we have must now wash away. We must be brave, Lord. Please teach us in your way to have courage, to know our own greatness, and to inspire everyone in that room tonight to be brave for themselves and to follow their dreams.
She is certainly not shy about telling the world about her spiritual beliefs.
You were raised Catholics. You were raised as a Catholic. What are your feelings toward the church and religion in general?
In terms of religion, I'm very religious. I was raised Catholic. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. I'm very spiritual. I pray very much.
Even though she may claim to follow Jesus and have a belief in God, her actions tell a very different story. The Bible has something to say about such behavior, and it says, "If you love me, keep my commandments." What are some of God's commandments? Commandment number 1 says to worship God and Him only.
I truly see God in my fans. They are who I worship, is what I'm trying to say. And I believe what you worship in your life doesn't have to be religion or an institution or a certain kind of God. It's just, you must worship your faith. I'm speaking in my own Gaga tongues, but I worship my fans, is what I'm trying to say. They are my religion.
Commandment number 3 says, do not take the Lord's name in vain. Using an upside-down cross in Christian imagery in a satanic way is tainting the holy name of God. If commandment number 6 says, thou shalt not murder, why would you even pretend? Commandment number 7 says, do not commit adultery.
So, people, I thought you were saying you were bisexual. Are you bisexual?
Well, I do like women.
Do you like men too, or just men?
Yeah. Well, I've only been in love with men. I've never been in love with a woman. But that's really what the song was all about. Why, when I was with my boyfriend, was I fantasizing about women?
Have you had sex with women?
My goodness.
You don't have to answer me. That's okay. We can leave it as a big unknown if you want.
I've certainly had sexual relationships with women, yes.
The Bible is constantly telling us not to enter into any kind of fornication. It also tells us in Jeremiah 25, verse 5, turn ye again now every one from his evil way, and from the evil of your doings. We will know them by their fruits, right? In other words, if your words and your actions do not match, then we have a problem. When the Bible condemns certain behaviors, and then we choose to enter into those behaviors which it directly speaks against, then it is called sin. We are not called to embrace darkness, but to walk in the light. James 1:21 says, therefore lay aside all filthiness and overflow of wickedness, and receive with meekness the implanted word, which is able to save your souls. Be doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. For if anyone is a hearer of the word, not a doer, he is like a man observing his natural face in a mirror. For he observes himself and goes away, and immediately forgets what kind of man he was. But he who looks in the perfect law of liberty and continues in it, and is not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this one will be blessed in what he does. During each concert of her Monster Ball tour, Lady Gaga was very clear about one thing that she absolutely hates.
Does anybody know what I hate almost as much as I hate money? That is right, fans. I hate the truth. In fact, I hate the truth so much, I'd prefer a giant dose of bullshit any day over the truth.
Jesus says in John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So in saying that she hates the truth, she essentially hates Jesus because he is the very definition of truth. The lyrical content of Lady Gaga's music is full of unrighteous imagery. Much of the content is even too sexual to show in this video. In her song titled Teeth, she sings, "Got no salvation, my religion is you." The reality of a faith in Jesus Christ is that Jesus is desiring to save us from our sins, not celebrate our liberation in them. James 1:26 tells us, if anyone among you thinks that he is religious and does not bridle his tongue, he deceives his own heart, and this one's religion is useless. Jesus' whole mission on this earth was to preach repentance and remission of sins, and that if we ask for forgiveness and turn from our evil ways, that he is faithful to forgive us. But Lady Gaga seems to make fun of Jesus' mission in the most blasphemous ways. Some say it's all just an act, that she does this just for fame. But yet her personal life confirms the suspicion. All this demonic imagery seems to be spilling over into her offstage life. Many reports have come out that Lady Gaga has trouble sleeping at night.
Lady Gaga's former assistant, Jennifer O'Neill, sued the singer for $400,000 in unpaid overtime. Now, explosive details about Mama Monster's demands are out. Jennifer claims that Gaga would make her sleep in the same bed with her every night because the singer didn't like to sleep alone.
There are even reports that the singer has a ghost spirit that has been haunting her. She even contacted a well-known spiritist named Deepak Chopra to give her advice on how to handle the situation. Desperate to stop the harassing, she held a seance to find out what the spirit wanted. Lady Gaga may appear to have a form of religion, but do not be deceived by her appearance. Her music celebrates rebellion and promotes all manners of evil. Instead of watching the halftime performance, pray for the millions of souls that will be influenced by her art.